somewhere, if we can find it, there should be this big rock face with a pool of water at the bottom, which played a considerable part in my dreams in the months after my last visit to this part of Britain.
What sort of dreams were they?
They were nightmares. It's impossible to know after 15 years, but I think this is absolutely it.
15 years ago, Anthony Woodward took part in the Round Britain Rally, a 3-day air race across the UK for amateur microlight pilots. On the second day of the rally, he crashed.
I was flying, very slightly uphill, which is mistake number 1. We just got into the air. The microlight wasn't climbing, and it wasn't climbing, and then I saw a set of wires in front of us. So I decided to try and go underneath. One of the wings clipped. One of these wires here, I think, there was a massive blue flash. We went vertically upwards. We crashed down. Just had petrol. Thin, cold trickle of petrol going down our necks. The nightmares came later. In this nightmare, I'm in a little plane, flying round and round, unable to climb. I keep going up and up, but I never get quite high enough to get clear of this rocky face.
What's going through your head?
I don't know. Microlighting's fucking dangerous.
Flimsy, often homemade, and powered by notoriously unreliable engines,
You're putting your life in the hands of what is effectively a chainsaw attached to a deck chair.
microlights were born in the late 1970s as a way for anyone to experience flying at its most basic and its most exhilarating.
What a place.
The ultimate test for the microlighter is the Round Britain Rally.
Oh my God.
3 days of non-stop endurance flying,
It feels like I've been wrestling with a gorilla.
where the aim is to fly around as much of the country as possible.
If we have to ditch in the sea, if anything was to happen to one of us, it better happen to me.
I've never been so scared flying in my life.
Once again, enthusiasts will compete in their magnificent flying machines in an attempt to recapture the true spirit of amateur aviation.
Sweet God. Oh my God. When was that? 80s and early 90s. I cannot believe I looked like that. That's a bad hair phase, I have to say. I think it's better now.
Anthony's a writer. The first book he wrote was about his crash. 15 years on, he's decided to give the rally another go.
I've been told by 2 instructors with real confidence I'm the worst pupil they've ever had. I have no instinctive feel for how a plane flies. I have no spatial awareness for getting it down, and I'm utterly untechnical. Most people who fly love tinkering with stuff, fiddling around with engines, and that is all incomprehensible to me. I first wanted to fly to pull girls. There was nothing romantic about it.
Were you successful?
Absolutely not.
Did he fly when you first met him?
Yep, he was writing his book Propellerhead, so I was basically reading about how hopeless he was at flying as I was getting to know him.
Was it attractive that he could fly?
Yeah, but there's something quite glamorous about it. I mean, yeah, I really think that is.
I'm doing this for a different reason. I'm doing it because I always feel too grown up and cosy. I'm now 48 with 3 children, and it wouldn't really have occurred to me, but I suddenly thought, why not? It's unfinished business, and And flying offers something very exciting and, for me, very frightening and dangerous, which also makes you feel tremendously alive.
Anthony's on his way to visit his old flying instructor, Will, who has agreed to be his teammate for the rally.
How long is it since you've seen him?
I was thinking about this last night. It's 20 years, I think. So, time enough for quite a lot to happen to us both, I guess.
I live here in my log cabin with my two sons, Peter and Edward. Lots of male pigs, male dog. No ladies. Can't get anybody to put up with the isolation of the place, you see.
Will had to give up being a flying instructor after a
pigs.
car crash in 2007 permanently damaged his back.
You've been fighting, you have. You've got a bump on your neck.
He now keeps pigs, but has jumped to this chance for one last flying adventure.
For me, it'll be an end of an era, you know. It's the last time I shall ever do anything like this. I can't do what I used to do, so I'm no longer going to be an instructor. So it's a little bit like wrapping up 25 years of instructing in one hit.
Will, how are you, mate? Good to see you. Excellent.
You have got less hair than me as well. That's really good. Do you find your head gets cold?
Well, yeah, I do. Well, I'm now used to it. But yes,
Anthony's insisted they compete in the same type of plane he crashed in, a 1980s thruster, which Will has spent the past few days putting back together.
My toy shed.
there it is. Oh, beautiful. Good colours, too. Look at that.
Well, it's actually-
It's in beautiful order. Look at that.
Is it as you remember
Oh,
it?
gorgeous thruster. I mean, look at it. Supermarket trolley back wheel. I mean, they are
That's
fantastic.
it, you know, it's
plastic stacking seats like I sat on all through my school days, just bolted to the bottom.
That's it.
It is great. I love it. The bathroom light switch.
Yeah, that's
Trimmer.
right, for the trim. That's it, yeah, that's it. Yeah, pull the chain.
Look at that. Look at that.
You get yourself strapped in, and I will figure out how
This is the first time Anthony has flown a microlight in almost a decade.
Here we go. Look at that.
With safety comes blandness. And the magic of these machines, to me, is that it gets you right up close to that sort of scary edge of the envelope of what you're doing in this sort of deck chair in the sky.
No problem. You give it a passion, go.
Yeah, I do, right. Okay,
This is great, though, isn't it?
here we are again. Oh, sorry.
Nice and gentle. She's still going. Keep her straight for a minute. Right, mate, you got control. We'll balls to the wall and off we go. Come on, darling. Come on, Bruce. Take 90 minutes to start the move, isn't it? Feels like it's going to start to fly now, fairly soon. There you go. Up and away. 300 feet. Hey! How's it feel to be in the air again then?
It feels amazing. I'm drinking it all in.
You take off that little aeroplane and all that fresh air comes in round and the view's fantastic. It's just like you're just taking a step to heaven. That's it, you just reduce the power back a bit.
Oh, sorry.
Full power, that's it. Treat every flight like it might be the last, you know?
Shall I try and go back and try a landing?
The most difficult and dangerous part of any flying is the landing.
You're in control, okay? Check it back now, don't let it touch, don't let it touch. Bye.
Yeah, oh.
You're all right, ease back gently.
Oh, what's happening?
Okay, just come back over my side, what's happening? Stick back, pull back, mate, pull back.
Got a lot of circuits.
I love that. Whoa, what's happening? Well, I think they're meeting the ground this time.
Okay, that needs quite a bit of practice.
What we need to do is some circuits, takeoffs and landings.
Setting off again, Anthony's worst fears are realised.
We see that with the problem there.
What's happening?
That's the engine.
The engine suddenly falters, luckily while they're still on the ground.
Fuck!
fuck!
Oh my God.
What happened?
It's
Well, the engine,
and
crucial moment, stopped giving quite as much power as it was. And the wonderful, wonderful thing is, it did it while we were still on the ground, rather than 3 minutes later, when we would have been over trees.
At the weekend there, I got my new Ray-Ban aviator glasses, the Tom Cruise Eat Your Heart Out, Top Gun style.
16-year-old Mikey McMahon is competing in the rally with his dad, Paul, who separated from Mikey's mother 6 years ago.
It's my first time to do something like this, and I'd say it would bring me closer to my dad as well. It's going to be talking about flying the whole time. It's drink, eat, breathe flying, basically.
Mikey's dad, Paul, runs his own driving school, but takes every chance he can to get up in the air.
People say to me, you're in the same place every weekend. I said, I'm never in the same place. The clouds change, the winds change, the seasons change. And once you leave that ground, the sky is a different place. You can fly to the same destination every single day of your life and be somewhere different every single day of your life.
So have you always been into flying?
Yeah, I was brought up on it. There was a stage where I went off it and I felt a bit scared of flying, and then I gave...
Scared?
I was afraid of turbulence. I didn't like going up in passenger jets. I didn't like going up in any plane. I made any excuse not to go up.
What do you think made you scared about it at that point?
What made me scared, I think, was my dad's crash. He went up, took off. The telephone wire went across the bar in front of the plane, and it snapped and turned around 180 degrees and straight into the ground at 60 miles an hour. And he said he's lucky to be alive on it. And that sort of put me off.
Paul is collecting his son to fly in his microlight to England, where the rally begins in 2 days' time.
Right, well, let's go, so.
All right.
Bye! Miss you already! Oh, I've got big butterflies. Well, they're not butterflies, pterodactyls floating around in my stomach now for him now. It's awful, isn't it? I feel sick.
In order to take part in the rally, Paul and Mikey first have to fly their microlight over 72 miles of Irish Sea. If their engine fails, it could be fatal, as they'd be forced to ditch in the icy waters below.
The better option for me would be not to go across the sea at all, but then we live on an island, how do we get there? So we have to do it. Get nervous? This is an exciting trip, it's an adventure, and that's what it's supposed to be. If we need to come back at any time because you're not happy, you're uncomfortable, you're panicking, anything like that, we'll have a little chat and I will turn that aircraft around and come back. Okay? This is breaking new ground for me. This is actually like cutting an umbilical cord for me, because I have purposefully not taken Michael on trips, purely because of the sea crossing. On my own, I'm responsible for me. But if anything was to happen to him, I don't think I'd ever live with myself. Now I know you're scared. I don't want you feeling under pressure. Okay? But I need to know by 4 o'clock. If you turn around to me, you've got half an hour. If you turn around to me at 4 o'clock and say, no, Dad, I can't do it, well, I'll wheel it in here and we'll head off home. Where are you right now in your head?
Paul's decided that their best window to do the 40-minute sea crossing is right now.
How you feeling, Paul?
Not great. I want to go, but I want to go for me and him. I don't want to go if he's not going to be happy with it. He's a sensitive young kid and I'm very, very concerned about him. I might have to pull the plug myself now, which is... But what can you do?
Hello.
You're right.
What's wrong? Scared.
I just looked in his eyes, you could see it wasn't even worried, there was a terror in his eyes. His bottom lip was trembling, his whole face turned pale. That's thinking about getting into it. I just don't want to do him any damage.
In Wales, Anthony is having his own second thoughts about the rally.
I'm feeling a lot more scared about it than I think I admitted to myself. Will is a gung-ho bush pilot who wants to win. But it matters to me to survive. That has made me think about doing a rally more, because obviously I'm in a very different position now to when I did it before. I had nothing to lose when I was just single. Now I've got 3 little children. I don't trust that engine an inch. Everything can go wrong.
Back in Ireland, Paul is waiting for Mikey's decision. How's it going, Mikey?
Feeling good now. Still scared and nervous, but like you're not going to do a trip without being scared and nervous. And then again, 2.5 hours now. We're in a different country. We're on holidays, like, so just over the sea. I'm just going to see, can I just keep myself calm and talk to Dad the whole time. Deep breaths.
So you're going to do it?
I'm going to do it. It's kind of something I'm going to kick myself over afterwards if I don't do it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go and do it now. And
Here.
see you, Jill. Thanks for coming out.
Mikey.
Yeah.
Load her up.
Bye, Karma.
Baby.
See you, Michael. Well done. Enjoy.
Clear prop!
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Is it natural to still be scared and nervous?
Too fucking right I am. And that is a nasty crosswind, son. So be ready for it.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.